In January 2026, the landscape of professional basketball has reached a boiling point. The Caitlin Clark effect is no longer just a marketing slogan. It is the definitive economic reality of the WNBA. For years, the league and major media outlets like ESPN attempted to distribute credit across a rising tide of stars. But the numbers in 2026 have become undeniable. This script captures the moment the dam finally broke, leading to a viral crash out from Angel Reese as the establishment officially crowned a new queen of the hardwood. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. The day the denial ended started like any other, but it was defined by a shift in the matrix. Montage sold-out fever games, private jets with the number 22 on the tail, and a news ticker reading, WNBA sets revenue record, $2.5 billion. It is January 20th, 2026, and the WNBA is unrecognizable from the league it was just 3 years ago. But behind the glitz of the new $2 billion TV deal and the expansion into cities like Toronto and San Francisco, a storm has been brewing. For 2 full seasons, the media tried to maintain the rivalry narrative, the idea that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese were 2 equal pillars holding up the sky. But this week, ESPN and the WNBA front office finally said the quiet part out loud. In a groundbreaking internal memo and a series of State of the League editorials, the establishment officially recognized what fans have known for years. Caitlin Clark is the sole gravitational force of women's sports. And the reaction from the Windy City? It wasn't a congratulatory tweet. It was a total scorched earth crash out from Angel Reese that has the entire sports world choosing sides. The catalyst was the Clark Economy Report. Why did the establishment finally cave? Because the 2025 financial audits were just released, and they are staggering. ESPN's lead analyst recently dropped a bomb on live television, revealing that games featuring Caitlin Clark generated 105% more revenue than games without her. We're talking about a difference between 15,000 fans per game and the league average of 7,000. When the WNBA Players Association released their 2026 promotional calendar, fans noticed something shocking. For the first time, Caitlin Clark's image was used on nearly 80% of the collateral, with other stars relegated to the back pages. The Caitlin Clark effect was officially codified when the WNBA commissioner admitted that the league's new private charter flight program, now a $50 million annual expense, was funded almost entirely by the surplus generated by Indiana Fever ticket sales. This was the moment the equal credit era died. The league stopped pretending that every rookie from the 2024 class contributed equally to the bottom line. They acknowledged that while many helped, only one saved the league from the red. The crash out was Reese's breaking point. Angel Reese has never been one to bite her tongue. From the "you can't see me" gesture in 2023 to her villain persona in the WNBA, she has always fought for her seat at the table. But the crash out of January 2026 was different. It happened during a live-streamed practice session for the 2026 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. A reporter asked Reese about the new ESPN documentary titled The Savior, which focuses exclusively on Clark's impact on the WNBA's new CBA. Reese didn't just answer. She erupted. "I'm tired of the disrespect," she shouted, her voice echoing through the gym. "I've got the most double-doubles in league history. I've got the highest jersey sales in Chicago history. But because I don't shoot from the logo, y'all want to act like I'm just a supporter? I'm a protagonist. I've been the one taking the heat, taking the hard fouls, and building this brand from the mud. Now ESPN wants to act like the last 3 years were a one-woman show? That's not just a lie. It's an insult to every woman who stepped on this court before her." The crash out went viral in minutes, with Reese even going as far as to hint that she might step away from certain league promotions if the bias wasn't corrected. To understand why Reese is so upset, you have to look at the recognition gap. In 2026, the WNBA introduced Supermax contracts, but the criteria for these deals were heavily weighted toward brand value and global impact. When the first list of eligible players was leaked, Clark was number 1 by a landslide, followed by veteran Aya Wilson. Angel Reese, despite her massive social media following of over 5.5 million, was ranked in the second tier. The recognition from ESPN wasn't just about highlights. It was about impact analytics. They revealed that when Clark is off the floor, the WNBA's app traffic drops by 60%. These are numbers that an athlete like Reese, who prides herself on her cultural cool and her Bayou Barbie brand, simply cannot compete with. The crash out was the sound of a superstar realizing that being popular and being essential are two very different things in the eyes of corporate sponsors. Reese isn't alone in her frustration. Several WNBA veterans, who have spent decades playing in half-empty gyms for $60,000 a year, are also feeling the Clark burn. The recognition of the Clark effect has led to a divide in the locker rooms. On one side, you have the realists, who know that their six-figure raises are paid for by the girl in Indiana. On the other, you have the legacy guard, who feels that the history of the league is being erased in favor of a Disney-fied version of basketball. This tension is coming to a head with the 2026 CBA expiration. Players are threatening a strike, but the leverage is uneven. If the players walk out, they aren't just hurting the owners, they are hurting the golden goose. Reese's crash out is essentially the opening shot of a labor war. She is demanding that the league recognize the labor of the many, while the league is busy counting the loot from the one. The rivalry that started in the 2023 NCAA championship has reached its final form. It is no longer about who is the better player. It is about the effect versus the grind. Angel Reese's crash out has ensured that every eyes-on-the-screen moment of the 2026 season will be scrutinized for bias. ESPN has finally recognized the Clark effect because the market forced their hand. Now, Angel Reese has to decide if she will continue to be the villain that Clark needs, or if she will forge a path that doesn't require a rival's shadow to stay relevant. One thing is certain. In the WNBA of 2026, the truth is finally out, and the truth has a very loud, very angry, and very viral voice. To bring this expanded 2,000-word script to its conclusion, we must look at the specific technical advantages of the WNBA's new broadcast tech. The 2026 season introduced StarCam, an AI-driven camera angle that follows the most popular player on the court at all times. In every Fever game, the StarCam is glued to Clark. In Sky games, Reese often shares the StarCam with 3 other teammates. This subtle technical choice by ESPN is what truly broke the Bayou Barbie's composure. It wasn't just about the words spoken. It was about the literal lens through which the game is now viewed. Furthermore, the 2026 marketing data indicates that Clark's jersey sales alone exceed the combined revenue of 4 entire franchises. For Reese, who has worked tirelessly to build a brand around her persona, being told that her market value is essentially a rounding error compared to Clark's is a bitter pill. Her crash out wasn't just an emotional outburst. It was a desperate attempt to reclaim her agency in a league that is rapidly becoming a monoculture centered on Indiana. As we look toward the 2026 playoffs, the narrative tension has never been higher. The Caitlin Clark effect has given the WNBA the riches it always deserved, but it has also cost the league its sense of egalitarianism. Angel Reese's voice, raw and unfiltered, serves as a reminder that behind every billion-dollar statistic, there are athletes who still believe the game should be about more than just the bottom line. Ultimately, the Angel Reese crash out of 2026 serves as a definitive case study in the friction between individual branding and the cold mathematics of the attention economy. While Reese has successfully cultivated a persona that drives engagement and cultural relevance, the official recognition of the Caitlin Clark effect by the WNBA and ESPN signals a shift toward a superstar-first financial model that prioritizes broad market appeal and unprecedented revenue spikes over traditional roster parity. This tension suggests that the league's future will not just be defined by the rivalry on the court, but by how it balances the singular gravitational pull of its most profitable asset with the legitimate demands for respect and recognition from the rest of the players who make the league possible.